right, good morning. I'm Mrs. Vlahos, and I'm the assistant principal, and I'm talking to you today about self-discipline. That word is always a little bit challenging for me because I feel like it's harsh, and the connotation, like the way it makes me feel, is on the negative side. And I feel like if you don't want to do something, then maybe you shouldn't do it, and you should choose to do something else. And so if you want to do things, then the idea of whatever discipline means is it should be something that you want to do, and it should kind of come easy as opposed to something you're forcing yourself to do all the time. And I think we all get tired, or we all feel pressure to repeat things that we've done, but the idea, I guess, with self-discipline is that you always have something at the end that you want to achieve, and that those are the things that kind of drive you to keep doing whatever it is that you know you need to do in order to get to the end. So I think for a minute about the discipline that it takes. I get up. I've done it every day this year. I've gotten up at 4 o'clock in the morning to work before I come to school, and it is unpleasant when that alarm goes off every day. I'm not going to lie to you. It is not pleasant. But I have a light by my bed, and my phone goes off, the alarm goes off, and the first thing I do is tap the light, because that right away I'm awake. And I know from having tried this in the past that if I'm awake, I convince myself to get out of bed, because what I would rather be doing is sleeping. And once I'm awake, I'm not asleep anymore. So that's not an option. And I've also done it where I haven't gotten out of bed and I said, okay, I'm not doing it, I bail, and I stay in bed, but then I'm awake, and then it feels awful to be awake, in bed, didn't get my workout in, and I'm not asleep. So I get nothing from that situation. So now what I do is I tap the alarm, I tap the light, because it's a tap, which I don't, like, that's amazing, right? I don't even have to flip a switch. So I tap it, the light is on immediately, and I'm out. And that's something that I want to do. I know I want to, and by 5 o'clock in the morning, when I would normally get up, I feel great, and I know I've already closed that ring, and anything else I do during the day is a bonus. And I can eat a brownie if I want to. First of all, you can always eat a brownie. But I've already wiped that brownie off the radar, and I'm ready to go. So that gets me something that I want. It makes me feel good, and I'm happy about it, and it doesn't really actually feel like work. And having a partner to do that with is also something that's easy. So it makes me have that accountability, like, are we getting up? Yes, we're getting up. Get out of bed, and we do it. So that's what I think about discipline, and it's something that I want to do, and so it doesn't feel awful as I'm doing it every single day. Why don't I take a day off? Why don't I take two days off when I'm really, really tired? Usually what I know about myself is that I run it until I can't run it anymore, because when I take that, I always think about that rainy day. What does the day feel like when I'm truly, truly sick, where I don't feel like getting out of bed? And if I can do it, I'm gonna do it. So I'm always like, yep, I can do it, push through that last one, because sometimes one becomes two, and then two becomes something else. And what I've learned about things that I want to do and things that I want to repeat is that I just do it until I can't do it anymore. And that's usually my best method. So that's my discipline for most things that I do in my life, like coming to school. Could I take a day off? Sure, if I wanted to, but why? One becomes two, becomes three. Why is today any worse than tomorrow? It's not. Everything's great. Come to school. Could I ask you any questions? Anybody have any questions?
Be shy, guys. When did you start your routine that you're talking about? How long have you been doing that?
I've done it a couple of different times in my life. I came from my previous job. I did not have, I worked a different contract, a different number of days than I do now. So I had to work all summer. I didn't get any time off during the summer unless I took it. And that's different than being a principal and having a particular schedule of days where I don't work. And so over the summer, when it was really hot and it was gonna be 80 by 8 o'clock in the morning, and I don't feel like running or doing anything at 90 degrees at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, that sounds super miserable. So I started doing that during the summer, and then I just kept doing it. So I've done it a couple of times in my life. It hasn't always been as sustained as now, and sometimes it has. So it's been something that I've dabbled in for a while, but I've been doing this for a couple months and I like it. It's not going anywhere. Yeah.
How long did it take you to like build that habit?
That's a great question. So getting up is super hard, and when that alarm goes off at 4 o'clock in the morning, it actually just feels like the middle of the night. And now though, I can't even sleep to 7 o'clock, which sounds awful, but 2 weeks. You have to give yourself time, right? Give yourself a little bit of time. Does it always feel, am I looking like this at 4 o'clock? No, I'm not, and that's okay. Give yourself all that permission to, you're doing it, what are you trying to achieve? And is it perfect every morning? No, but I have gotten up every single morning. So about 2 weeks until it felt less like the middle of the night. That's habit, right? What else? Yeah.
What time do you like go to bed?
That's a great question. So it depends. 9 o'clock is like when I start to realize that I'm snapping at people in my house, not the person that I want to be, and that I'm starting to feel like I could sleep on the couch for a few hours, which is also not the place where I would like to sleep all night. So I try, when I see that switch over to 9 o'clock, I kick it into gear before I yell at someone or say something that I don't want to, and fall asleep on the couch. Yeah, but I also will tell you that if I sit on the couch when I get home from work, depending on where children are at that point, I have been known to close my eyes for 30 minutes, and then I still fall asleep at 9 o'clock. So sleep is, the only thing that matters in life. So. What else? I'll say this. The other thing that I do, and this is also what makes it hard, is that I get all of my stuff ready at the end of the day for the next day. So I lay my clothes out so that I don't have to pretend that I don't know what I'm wearing to the gym. Who cares, right? I lay my gym clothes out. I have an idea about what I'm wearing to work, and I have my lunch packed because I have to eat something during the day, and it has to be when I want it. So I do all of that, and that's what keeps my routine flowing, because if I miss one part, then that becomes an excuse or a very good reason why I can't do something that I want to do at 4 o'clock in the morning. Because if I don't have food, I'm not working out. Yes.
All right, guys. Any other questions? All right, well, thank you so much for your presentation today.